Hey guys, I'm the Canyon Man, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Winnie Gear Outdoor All-Weather Underquilt. This underquilt is under $40 and it is the cheapest on Amazon right now. I'm going to be going over three main things on this underquilt. One, the price. Two, how durable is it? And three, does it do the job? So, come along with me and see whether or not a $30-something underquilt is worth it. So guys, it's the first weekend in November, and seeing as I live in central Utah, ice is already forming on the rivers and streams, and tonight it's supposed to get down to below 20 degrees Fahrenheit. I have about a 2-mile hike in, and because I left so late in the day, by the time I got to where I was going to camp, it was already too dark to film my setup. In the morning you'll see my setup and I'll explain everything that happened during the night. It was so cold last night that all of my water froze. So now I have to heat it up so I can have breakfast. Everything around me is covered in like frost. Let me go find a piece of wood. This is just some wood that's laying on the ground and you can see it's just covered in frost. It's soaked. So basically I'm just putting ice cubes on the fire and then hoping that it works. Anyway, so it took me a little while to start a fire last night. All the leaves too, everything around me, everything that I would use for dry tinder is very, also, same story, very frosty. But hey, I stayed pretty warm last night, so I don't have any complaints. Actually, I do have some complaints. I'll tell you guys about it in a little bit. Okay, so I told you guys I would talk about three things. One, the price. Two, is it durable? And three, is it worth the price? Or should you save up your money and get a bigger one or a better one? Okay, so first things first, I'm going to tell you what my setup was last night. I've got this Eno hammock rainfly. My fire is right here in front of me, probably about 4 or 5 feet away. Then I have my hammock here. This is an Eno hammock. I don't know what kind. I've had it for probably over 10 years now. Then I have the Winnie outdoor all-weather or all-season hammock quilt, and my mummy sack. This is rated for I think 40 to 70 degrees as well. I'm from Texas, so I'm not used to this kind of cold weather, so none of my stuff is rated for cold weather. And then I hiked up with a second jacket, which I ended up not using at all, except for the pillow, just because it was so hot on the way up with 2 jackets on it. So as far as price goes, this here was $37.99, I think. I mean, that's not bad. $40 for an underquilt is really good, considering that you can get a really high-end underquilt for like $200, and that's only an underquilt. You get an underquilt and then you have to buy a top quilt as well. Now we want to talk about durability. Durability of this thing. I think as far as the size goes, it was almost perfect. If I could hook it onto the little loops on the end of my hammock, that would have been perfect. It would have been literally the perfect size for my hammock. But it did not. And so I stretched it out between the 2 carabiners because that's the only thing I could do. If I stretched it around the actual hammock, it just cinched up and it was useless, absolutely useless. So I stretched it between the two carabiners, and it stretched out, and it fit pretty well. And then I sat down in the hammock, and one of the bungees just snapped right off the bat. So within about 30 seconds of having it set up, one of the cords snapped. So I had to take some extra paracord that I brought just in case something like that happened, and I had to make a new loop on one end. Though I do really like that it has the bungee cord as opposed to some sort of hard rope, because that does kind of help it keep its shape. That does help it keep its shape. And I mean, the actual material of the underquilt, the outside material, seems great. The inside material, it says synthetic, so I can imagine that nothing's going to happen with that anytime soon. I guess the last question is it worth it? How warm was I last night? I am wearing those classic camping pants. They're zip off, they've got like 1,000 pockets. Underneath that, I'm wearing a pair of just sweatpants. And then on top, I'm wearing a long sleeve black compression shirt. And then on top of that, just a regular t-shirt, and then this jacket here. Other than my feet and my knees, which really the underquilt didn't have anything to do with, other than my feet and my knees, I was a comfortable temperature last night. Considering the fact that it got below 20 degrees, easy got below 20 degrees. Everything was freezing last night within 1 or 2 minutes. I had to constantly keep my water hot to keep it from freezing. So it was very, very cold last night. Considering that, it kept me very warm for the conditions. I got in it originally at about 7 p.m. By the time my feet got cold, it was 4 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. So that's like, what, 5, 3, that's like 8 hours that I was in this hammock, and it wasn't, and I was fine still. My complaints though. One, the size. So the reason my feet got so cold is because at the ends here, it's not very big at all, or it doesn't stretch all the way the length of my hammock. It's pretty much a full length underquilt. So everything except for the end on one side. Oh. Okay, so overall, now you're wondering, is the Winter Gear Underquilt worth it? In my opinion, if you're okay dealing with, I mean, like I said, like that strap broke, if you're okay dealing with that, it's definitely worth it. Because I don't think that inconvenience and its quality is worth the $20 or $40 or $100 or $200 that you would be spending on a much higher quality or much more expensive underquilt. The reason I say that is, one, it kept me warm. Two, I really didn't have any issues with it other than that one strap breaking, which took me maybe 5 minutes to fix. If I would have had a lighter, it would have taken me, 2 minutes to fix. All in all, it's really, it's a pretty good product, in my opinion. If you're just getting into hammocking in cooler weather, I think this is a good purchase. It's really, it's not a bad purchase. And maybe if it's not warm enough for you, you can use it in a little bit warmer weather, like maybe in the 50s or the 60s, when it would be still too cold to camp in a hammock. And when you get more into hammocking, you can, upgrade to a bigger one. But for this price range, for what you're getting for $40, I definitely think it's worth it. That's my opinion. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. If you have any suggestions for other things you want me to review, or other things you want me to take a look at, just let me know in the comments. Thanks. See you next time.